Hey guys, welcome back to Crochet and Ballet. We are so happy that you could join us today to make these very cute little pumpkins just in time for fall. It's not quite feeling like it yet, but it is almost here. It is super hot where I am at, but fall will be here before we know it, and we would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel. We are trying to get more subscribers, so if you would just hit that subscribe button, Bonnie and I would really appreciate it, and share our creations with other people. We would also really like it if you could like the video and share the video with other people. That way our designs get out to more people and they can see it, and we can get more subscribers that way too. So that would be really great. We greatly appreciate you guys watching. Let's get right into this video. I'm going to start by showing you what I used. I used this softy chunky Bernat, and I used a 6mm crochet hook, which is a little bit smaller than what it recommends, but I did want my stitches to be a little bit tighter since we are going to be stuffing it. I don't want the stuffing to come out in between the holes, so we're going to be using this, and this color is Pumpkin. If you would like to get the same yarn that I'm making for your pumpkin, or any orange would work, but I'm using this chunky yarn here with a 6mm hook, and as you can see, it will we'll use the back loops only, and that's what's going to make these ridges. We've got a stem we're going to make, and a leaf if you want to put that on there as well. So for the stem, I did use this color. I could not find the same brand, but we're going to use this taupe color here for the stem, and it is the same size and everything, the same size yarn and same thickness, and we're going to use this green, which is a forest green, on the leaf. And you don't have to make a leaf if you don't want to. You can if you want to. That is totally up to you. One of mine I made with a leaf and one I made without, but I'll show you how to do either one. So let's go ahead and start out here. Let's make a slip knot and insert your hook into there, and we are going to go ahead and make 33 chains. So let's go ahead and do that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. And so that is what it should look like with 33 chains. And we are going to go into the second chain from the hook, and we're going to make a slip stitch. So I like to go into the back bumps of the chain, so you just go right there and pull up a loop and go ahead and pull it through the one on your hook. And we're going to make 3 total slip stitches. So this is the third one. And then in the next 4 stitches we are going to make single crochets. So there's 1, here's 2, 3, and 4. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make half double crochets. So for the next 18 stitches, you're going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. That is a half double crochet, and we're going to do that for 18 stitches. So we are just going to do that for 18 stitches. So we did 3 slip stitches at in the first 3, and then we did 4 single crochets, and now we're going to do 18 half double crochets, and we're until we have 7 stitches left at the end of our chain. So don't do anything yet into the last 7 stitches, and I will show you what to do when we get there. So here we are. I've got 7 stitches left. Well, it looks like I need to do 1 more half double crochet, so I had 8 stitches left, but so let's do 1 more half double crochet, and then we are going to do 4 single crochets. Here is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to do 3 slip stitches into these last 3 chains. There's 1, 2, and 3. So your first row is done, and it should look something like this. It's little on the ends and gets a little bit bigger, wider in the middle. So we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to turn our work, and now from here on out we're going to be working in the back loops only. So we're going to do the first 3 are going to be slip stitches. We're going to slip stitch into the back loop only, which is that side over there. So you put your hook in, pull up a loop, and go ahead and pull it through the other loop. And this is slip stitching into the back loop only of the first 3 stitches. So there's 2. We usually go in there, but we're going in the middle of the stitch to the back loop only and pulling up the loop. That's 3. Now we're going to do 4 single crochets in the back loop only. There's 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to continue to work in the back loops only. We're going to do 18 half double crochets, and we are going to be working in the back loops only on every single row from here on out to make our whole pumpkin. So that is what's going to create those ridges. That's going to make it look a whole lot more like a pumpkin than just a round ball that's smooth. It'll have the ridges that makes it look like a pumpkin. So back loops only for 18, and then in the last 7 are going to be different. You're going to do after the 18 you're going to do the 4 single crochets and then the 3 slip stitches. So I'm going to do this row all the way across here with you guys. So just keep working on that until you get your 18. Looks like I am getting close to the end here. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is where we want to start doing our single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to do 3 slip stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to chain, let's see, it should look like this, and you can already see the ridge that it's making to go in the back loop only. And so now we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to turn our work, and we're still going into the back loop only on this next row, on all of the rows from here on out. Back loop only. It can kind of hide behind the yarn, so make sure you do get that first slip stitch in the right place. So we're going to go 3. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to do 4 single crochets in the back loop only. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now we're going to do 18 half double crochets in the back loop only. And we're going to continue this. I'm going to continue until I've used the whole skein of orange, and I'll tell you how many rows that is. I believe I ended up doing 35 rows total, and that left me with enough that I could sew it together and sew the ends together to close up all of the circle around and the ends together. So you want to leave enough to have a long tail to get it all sewn together, but I am going to use my whole skein of yarn for this, so my pumpkin can be as big as I want it to be. So that ended up being 35 rows, and they're all exactly the same. We're on our 18 half double crochets in the back loop only right now, and you're going to go till you have 7 stitches left in the row, and then we're going to start our single crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to do 3 slip stitches in those last 3 stitches, And we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and this is what we are going to do until we have 35 rows. So I am going to meet you back here in just a second and show you what it kind of looks like in the middle of the project, and then we'll do when it's finished. So this is what your pumpkin should be looking like as you get a few rows in. You can see that it definitely has a curve in it that's going to make it, you know, look like a circle, and it's going to be shorter shorter on the ends and larger in the middle, and that's exactly how you want it to be to make your pumpkin. So keep going, and I will meet you back here when we've got all of our rows done. Also, you can kind of see if you squish it through how it's going to look like a pumpkin. We just have to get to the other side done, and we will put it together just like that. Okay guys, so here we are. I have got 35 rows done, and this is how big we're going to do this pumpkin, and it should look something like this, and it still definitely has that curve to it. And what we're going to do is we've left a long tail so that we can sew it together in a circle, and then also close in the top and the bottom. So I'm going to now get, I guess, well, once you finish that last row, you're going to need to pull your yarn through one more time to kind of make it stay. And what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch this together just like this. You should still have the exact same amount of stitches. We should have 32 stitches total. And we are going to just go into the back loops and slip stitch. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to go into the back loop here of the other side, first stitch, and then you're going to go into the back loop of the first stitch on the other side, and you're going to just pull that yarn through everything, and that is just going to slip stitch it together. So then you get find the next stitch, go in the back loop of the other side, and pull the yarn through all of those stitches. And just keep going with that into the back loop, and pulling it through. And this is going to slip stitch the sides together to make your pumpkin round. So we're just going to go back loop into the back loop, right there, and pull it through all of those loops. And we're going to do that all the way down this side until you have the whole side closed up. Back loop, and pull it through. And then you're gonna do that, like I said, all the way down this side until you get to the end, and it'll close up. They should all line up, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I guess this is at the next. We've got looks like 2 stitches left to go. Back loop and back loop, pull it through all of them, 1 more stitch, get it through those, and then just pull all of the yarn through one more time to help secure it. Pull that down tight, and then you're going to need to get your yarn needle. So both sides are still open right now. I'm going to close up the bottom side first. I left a little bit shorter of a tail, but that's okay. I probably should have left a little bit longer, but I think that'll still work because we're going to pull it tight. So I just thread your yarn needle there, and what I'm going to do is go into just the ends here. I'm going to come out and pull it tight, and then go in and out all the way around just at the very end of where we were working. And that is all I'm doing. Just trying to make sure I'm staying in the same stitches so it's even, but it's okay even if it's not. As long as it's close to the end, it'll be fine. There's no really right or wrong way to do this part. Just you're closing up the end at the bottom of the pumpkin. So we just go in and out and pull it tight. I like to kind of pull it tight as I go. Some people don't tighten it up till they're all the way done. I like to do it as I go. This part is not hard, just in and out, and as you can see, it's already almost all the way closed. Sometimes it's hard to get that last one, so just kind of go in and pull it tight, and it's closed like that. And I like to just kind of go across it a few more times, just to make sure that all the stuffing is not going to come out the bottom. So I'm going to go right in there and directly across the opening. I didn't want to go that way, but I'll just do it like that, and then get it from the other side. As you can see, that just closed it up a little bit better and tighter, and will help it stay that way. And so that is what the bottom of your pumpkin is going to look like. I'm going to leave that just like that for right now. Pull it tight and leave it like that. And then we're going to be at the top of the pumpkin. And now it is going to be time to stuff your pumpkin. So whatever you're going to stuff it with, I'm using this fiber fill big bag here that does not fit under my camera, but I'm just using a big bag of fiber fill. And I'm going to start stuffing my pumpkin till however big you want to make it, and shape it in the way that you want it. So I'm just gonna grab a bunch of it and start pushing it down in that hole, and once it is how you want it, meet me back and we'll go from there. And here we are. I have my pumpkin as full as I want it to be. It is stuffed with the poly fiber fill. And now I'm going to get, this is the top end now that we left open. We were stuffing, and now we need to sew that up just the same way we did the other one. And I already did that around one time, and I'm just going to show you how I also go back across to just make sure that it gets closed up a little bit tighter, because again, we don't want the stuffing coming out. And this top part here is where we are going to be sewing on our stem. So I'm going to show you how to make that in just a second. After we get all of this closed up good, we're going to be making the stem, and that's going to go on the top here. And let's see, one more I think is going to do it, because you definitely don't want anything falling out of our pumpkin. And just pull it really tight, and then you can just hide your ends in the pumpkin. And next up is going to be making the stem. Okay, here I am just hiding the ends in the pumpkin. You just kind of push it in there and pull it out anywhere, and then you use your scissors and just trim the end and kind of move the pumpkin around, and those just hide right inside of it, and that takes care of that. You cannot even see them. And now we are going to do our stem. For our stem, we are still going to be using our 6mm hook, and we're going to be using our brown yarn. We're going to make a magic circle, and so go ahead and pull up a loop. I want you to chain 2. There's 1 and 2. We're going to yarn over and do 7 double crochets into this middle circle right here is what we're going to be working into. So double crochet is yarn over, go into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to tighten mine up a little bit so I don't have to hold it so weird. There's 6. And 7, and then you're going to pull that end of that string there and tighten it up to close that hole. There you go. And we are going to slip stitch to the 7th stitch, so you may need to kind of count back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the stitch that we're going to be going into right there. Make sure you get through both sides of it there. Mine curled up on me, and that's okay because that is what you want to happen because you're making it a little cylindrical shape kind of. So then you kind of turn it inside out like that and pull tighter if you need to. So now what we're going to do is chain up 1, and we're going to be doing a front post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, and instead of going into the stitch at the top, you're going to go around the post that it made there at the bottom. So you're going to put your hook in just like that, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you're going to yarn over, front, the next post is right there, and you're going to pull up a loop and do a double crochet. So there's the next post, pull up a loop, double crochet. There's 3. We're going to do it till we get to 7. That one goes there, and then there's the next one that does not have a stitch on it yet. There's 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then what we're going to do is close that round with a slip stitch. So there's our stitch right there, and we're just going to make a slip stitch to close that out. We're going to chain 1 and do front post double crochets again. So that is where we're, oh, I forgot to yarn over. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're just going to again slip stitch to close. I like to tuck in that tail just so it's out of the way, and in there I'm not going to stuff my stem. You can stuff the stem if you want to. I'm just going to put that tail end in there and then sew it onto the pumpkin. So there's the end of our 2nd round. Here's our 3rd. There's that front post. We're going to do 7 again. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to slip stitch to close. That's the end of our 3rd round. So let's start our 4th. We're going to chain up 1, front post double crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and slip stitch to close. And you're just going to make this until you have the length that you want or what you think will look good on your pumpkin. Maybe you made your pumpkin a different size than mine, and that's okay, or different yarn, so it's smaller or bigger, and that's totally fine. And just do your stem to whatever you think will look good on your pumpkin. So this is the start of row 5 for this pumpkin. And we're just gonna keep going around the exact same thing. Front post double crochets in 7 of them, and then close with a slip stitch. and until you get how long of a stem you would like to have on your pumpkin. For mine, let's see, I think that looks like a good length right there for mine. So just 5 rounds is what we're gonna do. You want to cut your yarn and leave enough long enough to sew it onto the pumpkin. So you're gonna want to pull that through one more time to just kind of secure that, and then go ahead and get your yarn needle, and we're going to sew it right onto the top of our pumpkin, the top in the middle that we just finished. So that's what the top of your pumpkin should look like. That right there, and that's where you're putting the stem. So the stem, I do like to, I don't do it tight as I go. I like to see it and then pull it all tight at the end. I just think that that is easier. So it's already coming out of the stem, so my first stitch is going to go into the pumpkin, and I'm just going to do right around the middle so that it will be centered. And then once I go onto the pumpkin, then I'm going to go in the next stitch kind of on the side of the stem. And I'm not going to pull it all the way tight. We can tighten it up in just a second. And then I'm going to go back to the pumpkin. And then the next one on the stem. And then back to the pumpkin. And we're just going to do that same thing all the way around until we get the whole stem on there. There's, looks like one more that I'm going to make sure I get onto the pumpkin here. And then I'm just going to pull it. Oh, let's do another one. And then I'm just going to pull that tight. Pull all of the strands through there. And you just kind of squish it down, and it will look something like that. And I will show you a better picture of that in a second, but that should look something like just like that, and it looks super cute. I really do like this pumpkin. I'm not a huge pumpkin fan in the fall, but I know a lot of people are, and I think this one ended up super cute. So now let's make a leaf. This one is called Forest Green is what I'm using, and the leaf is super fast, so it will not take us long at all. And let's get started here. We're just going to need our green, and we're still using our 6mm crochet hook. And let's go ahead and get our chain going. We're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So chain 7. We're going to go into the second chain from the hook and do a slip stitch, and the next one's do a slip stitch. So there's 2 slip stitches, and then we're going to do half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet. And now we're going to do 6 double crochets into that very last chain. There, we're going to do all 6 in that same chain. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we're just gonna go down the other side of the leaf. You can pull that tight if it loosened up a little bit. We're gonna go down the other side of the leaf in the exact same way. We'll do a half double crochet, half double crochet, one more half double crochet, and then 2 slip stitches, 1 and 2, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to close and cut my yarn. And that is a very simple, easy little leaf. And I think that this whole thing turned out super cute. Now you're just going to sew that on exactly like you did the stem, and it should look something like this. And I really do like the way these pumpkins turned out. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you love the little pumpkins that we made. I made 2 of them. I really do like them, ready for fall. Bonnie and I, thank you so much for watching. She did a little photo shoot with our pumpkins here, and it all turned out super cute. We really would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel. If you have not already, please do like our videos and share our videos. And we just, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoy crocheting, and hopefully it is an activity that can help you relieve some stress and have a good time with it and relax. And I know that it is definitely a relaxing thing for me to do, is to crochet. And also I love watching Bonnie do ballet, so she was having fun with these pumpkins. But you guys have a great day.